Welcome back, Focus Learners, to The Explainer. Today, we are looking at a battle that's being fought literally every single day, right above our heads. If you own property in Westlake, Ohio, well, you already know the local weather isn't just some pretty backdrop. It is a relentless antagonist, and it's constantly testing the structural limits of every single home. So we're going to unpack the absolute ultimate defense strategy against this highly localized and frankly brutal climate.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our organized roadmap. First, we'll look at the Lake Erie weather threat, followed by how to spot roof damage early. Then, we're going to cover climate-specific roofing standards, the actual roof replacement process, and finally, protecting your roofing investment. We're going to break down this highly technical topic into a totally clear battle plan.
Section 1, the Lake Erie weather threat, nature's assault on your roof.
You know, to properly defend a home, we first have to understand the villain here. And if your property sits less than 2 miles from the lake, you are in a zone of extreme year-round weather exposure. We're talking wind gusts tearing off the water that regularly exceed 40 miles per hour. And the rapid temperature swings? No joke, we're looking at 40-degree shifts in a single day. It's classic Ohio weather, sure, but it is an absolute nightmare for your roof's aging process. Neighborhoods like Dover and Clague, you guys are directly in the crosshairs of this severe wind exposure.
And then comes winter. Between November and March, the brutal freeze-thaw cycle launches these covert attacks through something called an ice dam. Basically, heavy lake-effect snow melts on the warmer parts of your roof, it flows down, and then refreezes at the colder eaves. This solid block of ice acts as a literal dam, forcing newly melted water to just back up straight under your shingles. Eventually, it floods your attic and rots out your ceilings from the inside. It's a silent, destructive process.
Section 2, spotting roof damage early, when the shield cracks.
Now that we truly understand the enemy, how do we spot the symptoms of a losing battle before it turns into a full-scale emergency? If your roof is approaching that 20-year mark, you've got to pay close attention to these visceral distress signals. Are you seeing missing, cracked, or curling shingles? What about a heavy buildup of granules in your gutters? Think of those granules as your roof's actual armor. So when they wash away, the shingle is entirely vulnerable. Also keep an eye out for sagging roof decks, obvious water stains on your interior ceilings, and rotting fascia boards outside.
Now, there is a critical distinction we need to make here between normal wear and tear versus acute storm damage. Normal wear is gradual, It's the completely expected 20-year decay of an asphalt roof facing UV rays and temperature shifts. But storm damage, that is sudden and violent. It's the immediate tearing of shingles and flashing caused by those 40-mile-per-hour gales, or the sudden harsh impact of spring hail that compromises your roof's integrity in literally a matter of minutes.
Section 3, climate-specific roofing standards, engineering your armor.
So how do we actually fight back and build a better shield? When you live in a hostile environment, standard building codes just aren't going to cut it. So the crucial point is this specific number, 110 miles per hour. Standard shingles are simply insufficient for Westlake homes. You absolutely need Class H wind-resistant ratings, engineered specifically to withstand sustained gusts topping 110 miles per hour.
And comparing standard installations to climate-engineered ones brilliantly illustrates exactly why these upgrades are non-negotiable for surviving those 40-degree temp swings and intense lake winds. The difference is pretty stark. Standard installations use a 4-nail pattern. Climate-engineered roofs, they use a redundant 6-nail attachment to really lock down those shingles during intense gusts. Standard roofs use basic felt paper, while climate-ready roofs demand synthetic underlayment that actually won't crack during those massive temperature shifts. And instead of just meeting code minimums for ice barriers at the eaves, high-exposure Westlake homes absolutely need full-deck water barriers to stop intrusion from ice dams and wind-driven rain.
Section 4, the roof replacement process, securing the perimeter.
I get it. For a lot of homeowners, a full roof replacement feels incredibly intimidating. It's a huge project, but it really shouldn't be scary. The whole operation breaks down into 3 highly predictable, straightforward steps. First up is the inspection and estimate, where literally every inch of damage is photographed. Step 2 is the professional installation, which means tearing off the old materials, fixing any underlying structural issues, and putting in the new system. And finally, the walkthrough and warranty phase to make sure everything is absolutely perfect. When expertly managed around weather windows, replacing your home's armor typically takes only 1 to 3 days.
Now, a really critical component of all this involves your insurance. Homeowners insurance typically covers sudden hail and windstorm damage, but, and this is key,
It will not cover failures due to normal aging or just a lack of maintenance. This is exactly why documenting storm damage immediately with dated photographs is so vital. Professional roofing specialists know exactly how to present these technical claims to local adjusters so your coverage gets approved quickly and accurately.
Section 5. Protecting your roofing investment. Maintaining the shield.
All right, so once you have installed this massive financial investment, how do you extend its life through active defense? Well, first, you need to map out the expected lifespan of your chosen armor. Asphalt shingles are still the most popular choice, offering a solid 15 to 25 years of protection in the Westlake climate. But if you're looking for multi-generational protection, metal roofs are engineered for 40 to 70 years, and properly installed tile roofs, those can offer 50+ years of serious defense.
But listen, regardless of the material you choose, proactive maintenance is how you actually maximize that timeline. You should absolutely be scheduling professional inspections twice a year, ideally in the spring and fall. Make sure to clean those gutters quarterly so water doesn't back up and freeze. Trim back branches, especially if you live in areas with mature tree coverage like the Canterbury neighborhood. But most importantly, and people miss this all the time, ensure proper attic ventilation. Having balanced intake and exhaust, matching ridge vents with soffit ventilation, is just as vital as the shingles themselves. If heat and lake humidity get trapped up there, they will literally cook your roof from underneath, causing it to fail way prematurely. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Is your roof hiding subtle winter damage right now? That freeze-thaw cycle is just relentless, and honestly, a quick visual inspection from the ground might not reveal the micro cracks that are slowly letting Lake Erie weather into your attic. So, step outside, take a really hard look at your property's defenses, and make sure your shield is ready for whatever the lake throws at it next. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer today. Keep learning and stay focused out there.